For huge Star Trek, Strange New Worlds Teases Season 3 must deliver answers to. Few modern Star Trek series have balanced nostalgia and bold reinvention as gracefully as Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. Anchored by Anson Mount's quietly commanding Captain Christopher Pike, the show thrives on episodic adventure while threading long-form character arcs that grow more intense each season. Season 2 didn't just raise the stakes, it detonated them. Between the escalating Gorn threat, Spock's emotional turmoil, and the ever-ticking clock of Pike's tragic future, Strange New Worlds left fans with massive unresolved questions. Season 3 can't afford to sidestep them. Here are 4 huge teases the series must finally answer. 1. How will Pike face the inevitable? Pike's fate has been canon since Star Trek, the original series' 2-part episode, The Menagerie. He will suffer catastrophic injuries saving cadets, leaving him confined to a life-sustaining chair. Strange New Worlds hasn't changed that future. It's leaned into it. Season 1's time crystal vision confirmed Pike knows exactly what awaits him. Season 2 complicated matters by showing how even small deviations could cause worse outcomes for the Federation. Pike cannot escape destiny without risking something far darker. Season 3 must explore the psychological toll of that knowledge. How does a captain inspire hope while carrying certainty of suffering? Pike's strength has always been his empathy. But the closer the timeline moves toward his accident, the harder it becomes to ignore. Will he begin distancing himself from his crew? Will he prepare number 1 as successor? Or could the show introduce a morally wrenching scenario where Pike is tempted to alter fate again? The tease isn't just about survival, it's about acceptance. Season 3 needs to show whether Pike's heroism lies in defiance or surrender to the Gorn War. Is the Federation ready? The Gorn have evolved from campy reptilian foes of Kirk into nightmare fuel. In Strange New Worlds, they are parasitic, tactical, and terrifyingly intelligent. Season 2's finale left several crew members trapped in Gorn-controlled space after a brutal ambush. The destruction of the USS Cayuga signaled that this is no isolated skirmish. It's the beginning of open war. This isn't just a monster of the week problem. It's a geopolitical crisis. The Federation in Pike's era still clings to optimism and diplomacy. But the Gorn don't negotiate. They hunt. Season 3 must answer. Is Starfleet prepared for a prolonged conflict? Will Pike be forced to compromise Federation ideals? How far will the Enterprise go to rescue its people? The Gorn storyline has become Strange New Worlds' Dominion War in miniature. If handled correctly, it could redefine this era's tone and push the crew into darker moral territory. 3. Spock's emotional crossroads. Few arcs in the series have been as compelling as Spock's internal battle between logic and emotion. Played with layered vulnerability by Ethan Peck, this younger Spock is far less composed than the one audiences know from Star Trek, the original series. His relationship with Nurse Chapel brought out his humanity and his pain. Season 2 ended with heartbreak, as Chapel chose career advancement over romance. For a character destined to embrace emotional restraint, this loss feels formative. Season 3 must address the aftermath. Does Spock retreat fully into logic? Does bitterness shape the stoic officer he becomes? Or does he find a healthier balance before the rigid persona of the future solidifies? The series has been careful not to contradict canon, but it has expanded it, showing how heartbreak refines Spock's philosophy would add tragic depth to every raised eyebrow in later years. This is more than romance drama. It's origin story refinement for the Enterprise's crew. Who survives the transition? Strange New Worlds exists in the shadow of Kirk's future command. We know that at some point, the center seat will pass to James T. Kirk. We know Uhura and Spock remain. But what about Lon, Nooney, and Singh? Ortegas? Dr. Mbenga? The show has made us care deeply about officers who are largely absent from later canon. Lon's time travel experience with Kirk introduced emotional vulnerability beneath her hardened exterior. Mbenga's morally ambiguous wartime decisions suggest consequences yet to surface. Ortegas remains a fan favorite whose backstory is still underexplored. Season 3 must clarify whether these characters are stepping stones to TOS continuity or tragedies written between.